Issues That Matter with Calvin Lester and Stephen Jackson on WKSH 97.7 The Heat.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm Calvin Lester. That's Stephen Jackson. You're listening to 97.7 The Heat, WKSH, where we play what we want to play and say what we want to say. Welcome to another edition of Issues That Matter, the show that tackles those issues that are of importance to you, the community, from a decidedly community perspective. We try to break down some of the stuff, take you behind the curtain on the state, local, and national level if we can. We're able to do that because Johnny Antoine, who is our station he gives us this portal. And the times that we're living in right now, where truth is optional, like some places, you know. We got a lot of stuff to deal with, and we are very thankful that we have this portal to talk to you about these issues. So we thank you, Brother Antoine, for putting us on so we can talk to the people about what's going on with them in the community. Brother Jackson, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We hope everybody is having a good week or starting off your week right. Hope you are adjusting to this daylight savings time. So, we're happy to be here. I'll repeat what Calvin always says, is that we appreciate Brother Antoine for opening this radio, this hour of power up to you, to bring you information. Knowledge is power. And, we still believe in, that concept of bringing people information that's important, information that's relevant, in an uninfluenced way. If you don't know what's going on around you, you are destined to be consumed by just anything. And so people shouldn't be able to stand up and tell a lie regardless of what office or position or however long no matter how long you talk, it doesn't make a lie the truth.
Right.
Even if you tell it for long enough, I guess that concept, if you tell it not long enough.
Or loud enough.
You begin to believe it. So we like to make sure that we put factual information out and we corroborate it. So thank you for listening in. Thank you for being a part of the show. If people would like to call in and participate, how can they do that?
They can do it several ways. If you're by your phone, your mobile device, you can give us a call. Our number is 318-779-0459, 318-779-0459 on the hotline, aptly named. Or if you watch it on Beyonce's internet, just send us a like or send us a comment. We'd love to get to you. Speaking of which, please, if you see 97.7 The Heat on your social media, give us a like, give us a share. You see Issues That Matter on your social media, your Instagram, your Facebook, or whatever platform, give us a like, give us a share, because we want to spread the word. So we're going to go to the headlines. One of the first headlines I saw that people been talking about this whole Doge thing, whether it's legit or not. I think at some point the courts are going to rule, but
got to respond to public records now.
Yo, man, listen.
I ain't mean to cut you.
No. Listen, it's getting real it's getting real in the field. And what I saw was Doge eliminated some offices in Louisiana. They're claiming that they saved $800,000 by closing these offices in Louisiana, the leases. Now, mind you, just for those that want to know, if you want to pave a street in concrete, let's say you live on a Martin Luther King area, paving one street in MLK is over $1 million. Right. So they're making this big talk about $800,000, which is a lot of money to average, because we don't have that kind of money. But when you're talking about government, if you were going to do LaGuardia in MLK, that'd be like $1.3 million. So just take that with a grain of salt.
Does that include engineering, design?
No, sir. That's straight concrete. That's straight concrete.
You talk to something when you start talking about this, because you got to engineer, you got to
engineer, you got to put curb and gutter. So one street in the MLK, they bragging about $800,000. But what they did was they closed offices, and some of these offices, 2 were in New Orleans, 1 was in Homer. That's the biggest one. They closed 3 in Baton Rouge, 1 in Opelousas. For offices like minerals management. In Louisiana, we got a lot of minerals. Tax administration, got a lot of taxes. They closed the office for OSHA. OSHA is the place the government agency that makes sure when you're working on a job and you fall, they don't kill you. Like, you remember what happened in New Orleans when they had that whole issue with the worker that fell and was killed? That's OSHA. They closed the office for the National Oceanographic Atmosphere Administration, NOAA, otherwise known as the Hurricane People. Okay? National Park Service. So, man, it's a mockery. But we just want to let you know that this mockery is coming closer and closer to you. It's not this far off thing. It's not just people in D.C. It's getting closer and closer. What you got?
Yeah, I wanted to share that in Louisiana was scheduled to carry out its first execution next week, I believe. But a U.S. federal judge, district court judge, she's back. I hadn't heard her name in a while, but the heavy-handed liberal Obama, I forgot the nickname they gave, the heavy-handed liberal Obama appointed judge something.
Okay.
The one that got us our second black congressional district.
The one that coming to the cookout.
Right.
Yeah, she keep her invite.
Right. U.S. District Court Judge Shelley Dick.
Yeah.
Enjoined the state of Louisiana. She basically issued a preliminary injunction to stop Louisiana from moving forward with its first nitrogen gas execution on March 18th. Through her ruling, is expected to be appealed by the state of Louisiana. Dick granted the injunction Tuesday after a day-long hearing on Friday in which attorneys for the condemned inmate, Mr. Jesse Hoffman, argued that the state's plan to use nitrogen hypoxia as a method of death amounted to cruel and unusual punishment, which is forbidden under the 8th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. And so in her ruling, she said, now after an expedited hearing and absent a fully developed record, this court must answer the ultimate question: is nitrogen hypoxia cruel and unusual punishment under the 8th Amendment? Judge Dick wrote in her ruling. She also further said, this court finds that the balance of equities and the public interest weigh in favor of enjoining Hoffman's March 18, 2025 execution through nitrogen hypoxia until the matter can be resolved at a trial on the merits. The Fifth Circuit holds that an injunction does not disserve the public interest when it prevents constitutional deprivations. Stated another way, injunctions preventing the violation of constitutional rights are always in the public interest. And so she's basically saying, this concept of nitrogen hypoxia as a form of death of execution needs to be thoroughly looked at and addressed on the merits to determine if it is cruel and unusual. Just because a group of people got together to say, hey, we know how to make this happen, it's okay. That doesn't mean it's not against the 8th Amendment that forbids the cruel and unusual punishment. So thank you, Judge Dick, for always diving into the details and giving a very rational and logical reason behind her ruling. So what else you got?
Well, speaking of the courts, there's a student protester from New York City who is a student on a visa I think he has a green card, married to a pregnant United States citizen, valid green card, valid paperwork. Apparently, during that whole deal with Gaza, he protested in New York City. Well, this new president, well, not the other president, Mr. Trump, because Musk is the president, but Trump had him picked up, and he's currently being detained in Louisiana at a ICE facility. And so, it begs the question whether or not a foreign citizen has access to the First Amendment, because there is nothing criminal that he did.
He's not foreign. He's on a green card.
He's on a green card. Which means I'm not saying he's a naturalized American, but he has rights. And he's been allowed in, so he has legal status. Yeah. He's good with his status.
Yeah.
But it's clear that the Trump folks don't believe he has the right to the First Amendment. And
wow.
Yeah, and so I mean, if this wasn't so comical and sad and scary, it would be interesting from the perspective that there are so many constitutional questions that every day his illegal actions are bringing up. You know, but of course, this isn't law school, and this isn't a law school hypothet that you can play. You know, what if? These are real people's lives, and so that's something that we're gonna watch, because I'm quite sure if he's allowed to deny this person their First Amendment rights, then, you know, what does the story say? First they came for them,
Yeah.
before they came for me. Right,
Nobody left to speak up.
right. What you got?
Yeah, so today the Shreveport City Council voted to renew and expand the contract with Blue Line Solutions to bring additional speed cameras outside
Really?
of the school zones, but into neighboring thoroughfares. And so the new contract wouldn't just be for school cameras, but would also add speed enforcement cameras to neighborhoods that would operate 24 hours a day. Councilman Grayson Butcher knows exactly where he stood. He said he didn't want to extend the contract, and he did not want to expand them into non-school zones. It is interesting that there were state laws passed last year that limited the ability on these school cameras. I got something. Somebody sent me something that one of my colleagues on the other side of the Capitol chamber in the Senate posted, and he had a band sign with speed cameras on it, and he had a song that was playing, interesting song talking about ban it, outlaw it, get rid of it.
It wasn't banned in the USA by Luke, was it?
No, that wasn't it.
Okay.
But it was Senator Stuart
Banned
Cathy.
in the USA.
Yeah, it was Senator Stuart Cathy who successfully put forth the bill that severely limited how the speed cameras are now. And so, you know, his bill basically said all you have to do is sign the back of it, turn it in, say it wasn't you, and you're good to go. A lot of people don't know that.
They do now.
A lot of people don't believe it.
Well, they gonna find out.
But all you have to do is sign the back, turn it in, and say it was not you. But just remember, you are signing an affidavit saying it. But they cannot question you, right? So they can't question.
No.
They have to be able to verify that
You got
it
to
was
prove
you.
it.
They have to prove that it was you in the car.
Unless they have suspended the Fifth Amendment, they got to prove it.
They have to prove that it was actually you sitting in the car. And so
the attorney looked at her watch. She might have got a memo that I hadn't got. They might have suspended it while we on the air. But
yeah, I don't know.
So Steve, you're saying if
Right
like
now,
a family member driving the car or something like that, they have to prove that it was the owner of the car driving the car?
they have to prove that it was.
Right.
So if I was driving Johnny B's car,
right.
they'd have to prove.
Okay.
And you got a speeding ticket
Right.
Right.
with these school red light cameras.
Mm-hmm.
You would get the ticket,
Right.
and all you would do is you would just write
Right.
that was not me driving on the back of the ticket,
Right.
and it's done.
Like, for instance, I got a citation. I got to talk to Trey about on that Leadfoot thing in Houston, or the Texas toll deal, and it sent it to me
Right.
because the car's in my
Registered
name,
to you,
but I ain't in Houston.
right?
It
So
wasn't me.
So yeah, you've got to. Though Senator Cathy put that bill forth, and I think he will probably put another bill forward because I'm understanding that it's also popping up in the Monroe and Wynn Parish area as well.
I'm quite
So
sure.
I think he's going to he's going to probably come back with some more stringent, maybe even just the outright banning of it. I
Well,
think
your partner wanted to ban him, but he pulled back, didn't he?
he pulled back in favor of Senator Cathy's compromise bill that
okay.
basically allowed for the affidavit. And
Okay.
so,
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. So you know
What they
it'll-
should have done is waited till y'all finished.
Yeah. Yeah. To move. Yeah.
Don't change the law before the legislature goes into session, dummy.
Yeah. Yeah. They could have did. They should have waited
Lamont,
until July.
don't play your hand.
Yeah. They should have did this
Dummy.
probably in July,
Right.
as opposed to
Is they gone?
April. So
Now let's do it.
So yeah. What else you got? Or is that it?
That's it. That's
Okay,
it.
good.
That's it. So listen, that's our headlines. We've got a great guest with us that's going to enlighten us on several topics. It just got a lot smarter and prettier in the room. You're listening to 97.7 The Heat WKSH, where we play what we want to play and we say what we want to say. Stick with us.
Oh, yeah. Don't that sound good? Well, this song goes out to anybody that got somebody they might want to hold on to, somebody that they go home to at night. See, that's what I call a good thing. And I got me a good thing too. And you see, I don't want to lose it. Listen, I used to hang out every night, running around in the clubs. Yeah, I thought I had everything. I thought I never needed love. That's when God sent an angel straight down from up above. She came and swept me off my feet, showed me the meaning of true love. Now my friends, yeah, they ask me why I don't hang like I used to. Some even laugh and call me names like old man and party pooper. But I found me a good thing, and I don't care what they say. Tell them when I get time I might come through, but I can't come through the stay. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. My girl, she waiting. I don't wanna be foolish. Got a good thing going on, and I ain't trying to lose it. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. See my girl, she at the house. I know that she waiting on me with a big smile on her face, yeah. Looking real good, smelling real nice and sweet. She know I'm out on the road, doing my music thing. She know the temptation goes. She know I'm only just a man. But see, I try to make the right decisions. Some women have their own intentions. And you will be surprised what some people might do when they really want your attention. But I found me a good thing, won't let that get in my way. Tell them when I get time I might come through, but I can't come through the stay. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. My girl, she waiting. I don't wanna be fooled. Got a good thing going on. I got a good thing, and I ain't trying to lose it. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving. My girl, she waiting. I don't wanna be fooled. Got a good thing going on. I got a good thing, and I ain't trying to lose it. Can't stay too long. I gotta keep moving.
Right.
Wave your hand if you know you got a good thing.
Ain't that cool?
Somebody
Okay.
feel like me. Somebody got a good thing. Oh yeah. Real good thing. She don't have to worry. She don't have to worry.
Issues That Matter with Calvin Lester and Stephen Jackson on WKSH 97.7 The Heat.
And we are back. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for sticking with us. We hope we didn't make you wait too long. But we are here, and we have a special guest with us who want to talk about a special event that is coming into town. Calvin, introduce us to our guest.
Well, we have someone who is a person born and bred in Shreveport who's distinguished herself throughout the width and breadth of this country. She is a graduate of Dillard University. She's a graduate of the Southern University Law Center. None other than attorney Felicia Hamilton. Good evening, madam. How are you?
Thank you guys for allowing me to come and speak a little
And so, Attorney Hamilton has been with us before on a number of topics, and we're going to get to some other stuff later. But what brings her today, as I appreciate it, is the Dillard University Concert Choir is on their spring tour, and they have a date, I believe, March the 15th in Shreveport, at the Galilee Missionary Baptist Church. So, Attorney Hamilton, talk to us about the gospel choir at I'm thinking about my child.
You are?
The Dillard University Concert Choir, of which you are an alumni. So kind of talk to us about what the choir is, your experiences, and why we should come out on the 15th and enjoy some great music.
So again, guys, thank you so much for allowing me to come and share a little bit about my fair Dillard. Right. I am excited that the choir is coming to Shreveport on Saturday. And the choir, and again, like you just mentioned, it is not so much about gospel music, but it's about spirituals. Dillard has a very, very rich history, being the oldest and the first HBCU in the state of Louisiana. There's a rich culture, and so you will hear anthems, you will hear spirituals, you will hear original music, and under the leadership of Dr. S. Carver Davenport, who is really the longest serving choral director throughout the HBCUs. And so he has led the Dillard program for a very long time. He was my choir director when I matriculated there, and he is still doing that.
Awesome. So listen, we are all here HBCU alums several times over. So you're certainly in a very safe and welcoming space. When I was working at Wiley, back then it was Wiley College, it's now Wiley University, I remember getting an email and I looked at it funny, but then I thought about it and I said, it's right. Our vice president from academic affairs sent an email to all the faculty members and say, hey, please excuse the Wiley choir. They're out on their tour, their spring tour. We need you to support them. Do remember that the choir is our football team. So you're shaking your head in the affirmative. So explain to our listeners what it means when you say the choir is our football team.
So several things come to mind. The first thing that comes to mind is Dillard doesn't have a football team anymore.
Right.
And in such, this is a recruitment tool.
Right.
It's a recruitment tool, but it's also a time for alums to come together and celebrate Dillard University and all that Dillard University has to offer. The students that are in the choir are from various parts of the country and are majoring in different areas and are becoming leaders that will, serve us in the future. And we have here locally several Dillard alums who serve in this community, and so we look forward to those relationships that we are able to build and foster through the tours. So the students are able to network with the alums, and so we're creating those relationships that will grow and grow. So as they begin their lives after graduating.
Right, Brother Jackson. You also have obviously the music background as the HBCU. What are your thoughts about all of that?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing to have performing arts. Particularly, I loved when college choirs come through. That's why I love college basketball. I love college football because it seems like when you're in that college era, you're giving it your all. It's you're on 1,000, and so what made y'all choose Shreveport for Shreveport in New Orleans, and the people down there pretend as if they're going to the end of the earth if they have to drive up here. But what put Shreveport on the radar for the tour.
Well, then this is just my personal opinion, Mr. Jackson, is that
Stephen is fine.
this is allowing the students an opportunity to not have to travel very far, where it gives them the touring experience and exposure. In the past, I know when I was a part of the choir, we would tour 8 to 12, 15 cities throughout the country.
Right.
And so I would venture to say that the resources are not the same. You know, back then we would go to Chicago or go to Indianapolis, and we were staying with parishioners, members of those various of churches. And so it's 2025, and so you can't quite move like you used to move.
Right.
Why can't you?
And no, it's not safe to move like you used to move. It probably wasn't safe for us back then,
But
but
you turned out just fine. didn't
then
you?
praise God.
Okay. All right.
That's only because of God.
That's right.
But yeah, so I would imagine that resources are not what they used to be. In such, we are certainly, this is a free concert, and certainly soliciting donations from the public. Is, you know, all of our schools, all of our HBCUs are going through some challenges right now, and are having to pivot based on decisions from elsewhere. And so this is allowing
Nicely said.
this is allowing students to still get that experience of a tour. It's my appreciation that on Sunday, now they'll be here on Saturday, but they may be in Dallas on Sunday.
Gotcha.
And so that is giving them a taste of a tour. It's my understanding that Dr. Davenport said that I want my seniors to be able to go on a tour.
Right.
And so Shreveport, being 5 hours from New Orleans, allows them to, you know, get that experience. And then in the Shreveport area, Shreveport has always been supportive, and so we are obviously expecting Shreveport to be supportive on Saturday at Galilee at 3:00 to hear some beautiful music. To meet some great students, and to give back. Again, we're facing some challenging times, and those dollars go to the education and the development of the institution, which is a liberal arts institution, and so it's I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Well, you know, I would echo what Brother Jackson said. One of the things that I remember just growing up here, and you had a father who is very renowned in the whole music field, and that's part of the reason why Shreveport is on the map for choral music. You have people like my Aunt Julie and New Dimensions, and your church, St. Rest, was the place where everybody would go during the Christmas season, because that Christmas concert, you couldn't tell us that we were not at Carnegie Hall, because it certainly sounded like it. And so I really encourage folks out there to come on Saturday, because you will get the opportunity to hear and see and witness some of the brilliance that's inside of our young people as they sing, as Brother Jackson said, some very complicated and complex music. They not up there doo-wopping. They're tackling some very heighty, flighty music, and they do it so well. And you know, there's always a need for us to showcase our brilliance, and I think even more so now than before.
Yeah.
You know, just thinking about it historically, you know, you think about Dillard's Choir, but you also think about the Fisk Jubilee Singers that made a difference in terms of letting folks of another hue know that we have talent and can grasp these you know, big concepts.
So I just want to reiterate, you did say that this was a free concert.
Yes.
It is definitely free.
So welcome to come out, and make no mistake about it, this is also recruitment for Dillard
Absolutely.
as well. And so if you have somebody who's interested, I'd imagine they probably arm somebody with a table with recruitment and admission information.
I'm sure.
It's never too early.
Well, I think I know who's going to be there.
I thought you'd be singing.
No.
They might have a saying.
No.
Oh,
they
you gonna be
won't.
doing a recruitment thing?
I recruit for Dillard.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's good. You know,
Yes.
but this is an opportunity to come out, and if you're interested in Dillard, looking at Dillard,
Yes.
for post-secondary education, this would be a great opportunity to come see what they have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
It's never too early
It's never too early.
to start looking and searching, so you can start seeing what are those credentials to become, you know, to get accepted into Dillard.
Absolutely. And I attended an HBCU fair a couple of weeks ago over at Mount Canaan, a fabulous HBCU fair, and we were able to meet and greet hundreds of students. And so there are people, and there will be people on Saturday to chat with about the Dillard experience, about what Dillard has to offer. Dillard has some robust programs, whether that's STEM, arts, music. And while the choir is coming, and they are going to be glorious. They are, as Calvin mentioned, way back in the 70s when Dillard's choir was coming to town. It was incredible, and so they continue to have a sound like no other. And but this is an opportunity to witness African American students that are singing a diverse number of songs, and those songs are not gospel, but that they're hymns, they're classical songs, they are spirituals. And so the grace that they have historically shown, as well as I expect and anticipate on Saturday under the direction of Dr. Davenport, is like none other. And so I certainly invite you all to come to hear this fabulous choir, come meet these students. Also, they often showcase various soloists, and those soloists sometimes are music majors. Many times, the majority of the choir members are not music majors. These are just these are students who love music, just as I love music. However, my career is not in music. There you go.
So you did say free, right? I did hear you say free.
Free
Eggs is
$99. Free.
$9.
That's right. Yes.
The insurance is going
Yes.
up. The rent is going
They
up. But you
are.
told me that this concert is FREE.
This is
Free.
FREE.
You don't have to worry about dipping into your income tax. Oops,
Right.
my bad.
But
we're
we
gonna
won't be offended if y'all don't bring a love offering.
if you bring an offering to show your support,
Right.
to take up, and when they get ready to pass a love offering, don't tip your hand up and go to the restroom.
That ain't the time to leave.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on the other side of this break. This is Issues That Matters. You're listening to 97.7 The Heat, where we play what we want to play and say what needs to be said.
All right. So what you want to talk about now?
Y'all are so good. Oh my gosh. It's like, what is this? Even when I don't answer the question, he comes back and answers the question. I was like, I forgot the question. We need to. Well, I mean, I'm sure you all have already talked about it. What are we gonna do about getting these people to
What
vote
you
no
gonna do
on
when
these
you
amendments?
grow up
How we getting these people out here?
and have to face
What's amendment two?
responsibility?
I'm gonna have to read it.
Will you spend your
goodness.
days and
Oh, wait,
nights
let me-
in a pool room? Will you sell cans of madness to the neighborhood little ghetto boy? You already know how rough life can be, 'cause you've seen so much pain and misery. Little ghetto boy, your daddy was blown away. He robbed that grocery store. Don't you know that was a sad, sad old day? All of your young life you've seen such misery and pain. The world is a cruel place and it ain't gonna change. You're so young and you've got so far to go. But I don't think you'll reach your goal, young man. Hang around the pool room door. start to get better. Everything's got to get better. I declare, I believe that today. Just as soon as you make up your mind to go ahead on and do what's right. I said everything has got to get better. Everything has got to get better. I'm depending on you, little brother. Everything has got to get better. I'm depending on you,
Tax cut, and he got a tax increase out of him with the sales tax.
Right.
Issues that matter.
we talking about on
with
the way
Calvin
back? What
Lester
we talking about?
and Stephen Jackson on
gonna bring in the
WKSH
picture too,
97.7 The Heat.
And we are back. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for listening in. We have Miss Felicia Hamilton here. We've been talking about a very outstanding opportunity this weekend to come out and listen to the Dillard University, I started to say marching choir.
The Dillard
Are they going to
University
march in?
They will
Oh.
process in.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they're doing
We
not like us or
are
anything, but
on our way to.
Right. We are soldiers in the army.
We are soldiers in the army.
Yes. Like we did at Big Mama Church.
And they gonna sway with it.
You
Are they
got
gonna
to sway.
with
Come
it?
on, man.
With their robes on.
You got to have the Baptist
We
sway. It's
are
not legit if you don't have
I
the
will say, so one of my favorites, which was arranged by Dr. Davenport. But Close to Thee is a song that typically the choir sings, and a beautiful, beautiful arrangement of the hymn "Close to Thee."
Okay.
And so there may be some swaying.
That's right.
However,
If you don't
it
sway,
won't
just don't
be.
do it, man.
It won't be like, the marching band
Mm-hmm.
or a gospel group. Can they sing that? Absolutely.
Yes.
However,
this level of erudition requires.
right. Typically they do not.
I
So
got you.
it's a treat if they do.
Well, we're here for it. Before we get to some other things, I saw something on social media that was both striking and thought-provoking, and it was personal to me for reasons I'm gonna explain in a minute. I saw maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, as part of the, I guess, and I'm gonna let you talk about what led to it. I saw a picture on Facebook where they had a number of African American female attorneys that was standing on the courthouse, and they took a picture, everybody in black, very attractive, good representation. But the second picture, you guys were standing and y'all were extending your hands toward a line of young girls. I say young girls, young ladies.
They were
Children,
babies.
yeah.
Yes.
I have to watch myself because people get too sensitive about that sometimes. But I have one. Well, she's not a girl anymore. She's a young lady, 23. But I saw that and it was striking to me. And so talk to our audience about what led to that, what was the thinking behind that, and what were you guys seeking to accomplish? Because it was striking to me as a father of a daughter who wants to be an attorney. So deal with that for me.
This was the brainchild of attorney Trenisha Jackson Hill, and how fitting as it's Women's History Month.
Right.
And so where you spoke to the picture where the attorneys on the front row are reaching out to the top, and they're basically toddlers,
Right.
saying that we are your support.
Right.
And so you can look up to us. We are here just as our ancestors have been here, we are on the shoulders of those who have come before us. So yes, it was emotional just being on the courthouse steps. I mean, and it's not, even though this was a group of approximately 15 to 20 African American lawyers here locally, there are more than that here in this area. And so when we think of, in terms of the numbers of, or the percentages of African American lawyers, period, the number becomes smaller when you think in terms of African American women lawyers. And so in celebration of Women's History Month, and I can't remember what year that picture was, when we did that photo shoot. However, it's representative of where we've come and where we're going, and these are the children of our future.
Right. So to expound on that, we're living in a time where DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, by some is a bad word. I don't think it is at all. I think it's absolutely necessary. Speak to our audience, and then I'll turn it over to Brother Jackson about the importance of modeling things for our young people to show them that it's possible. We spoke about the HBCU College Fair, and we thank you guys for participating. But all of these things are intentional to expose our young people that there's something else beyond the walls of Shreveport. And so why is it so, from your perspective, why is it so important as first of all, as you said, the percentages of African Americans versus the percentages of lawyers is small. I think this is like 4%.
Right.
And then when you talk about African American females, you got to cut that in half. So you're talking about walking, talking miracles, literally. Why is it so important for our young women, as this is Women's History Month, to have Attorney Felicia Hamilton as a role model in terms of being able to model their aspirations? Well,
it was the word that you used, exposure. It's like you can visualize, or you can see, you can touch, you can converse with someone, and maybe you've only seen it on television. And maybe you even haven't even seen it on television. Right. So it's important that young people see somebody that looks like them, and that can convert to a goal because they've seen somebody else that's been able to reach that goal or accomplish that goal. I had the opportunity a few weeks ago to volunteer at the Junior Achievement event at the Convention Center, and as I was introducing myself to the students around the table, I'm Attorney Felicia Hamilton, and the young, you're a lawyer, and she was so excited.
Right.
And so oftentimes it's only on television. Right. And then and for lawyers, they're only portrayed one way. Right. And so there are so many areas that you can go into with a law degree or being licensed or what. So many. Right. It's not just as a prosecutor. Right. It's not just as a defense attorney. Right. So it's important. So in answering your question, it's about exposure, because if I can see it, I can achieve it.
Brother Jackson.
No, I think that is important, particularly as we talk about this attack on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so, what are y'all doing, or what are we doing? Because the photo is great, but I know that y'all are doing a lot of work with regards to you going into the schools and those kind of things, mentoring and those kind of things. So explain or talk to us about that.
So yes, so whether that's mentoring, participating in various community events, attending. Being seen. That's right, in the community, and as the as the president of the Black Lawyers Association
waiting.
of
I was
Shreveport
like,
Bossier,
don't put the hat on.
yet another hat. It is important that we that this community recognizes that we are here. And while you may not always hear us or see us on every issue, because issues are quote being posted by the second. We are here and we are serving in various capacities, whether that's hosting workshops where we are educating and informing the public about various issues. In fact, last fall we hosted a workshop on oil and gas mineral leases,
Very
exactly. Very, because organizations are coming in and quote taking our resources quote right up from up under us.
Right.
And so it's important that we're educating one another. We often have in January we often participate in the seniors luncheon along with Shreveport Bar Association doing powers of attorney. And so there are many opportunities where we are out serving. I dare not say giving free advice, but answering questions,
Right.
because we are not a client attorney relationship is not being established, but here's an opportunity, and there are various opportunities throughout the year that many of the attorneys give back, so that they take that time to answer questions, and where you're not paying a consultation fee or whatever, and so in fact there is a clinic coming up on Monday and Tuesday. So the third Monday of every month, the Shreveport Bar Association hosts a Ask a Lawyer, and that's on Monday. And on Tuesday, and I have forgotten the facility, but on Tuesday there will be a free workshop where I'll be speaking on family law issues and custody. So so there are opportunities out there to come out and ask the questions. It's just we can't make you come.
Right. Well, that's great news, and we want to encourage you all to keep it up. So, and again, before we wrap up here, this Saturday, tell us about this Saturday again.
Please, ma'am, please, sir, please, young man, young lady, you are invited to join the Dillard University Concert Choir on their concert tour here in Shreveport at Galilee Baptist Church at 3 p.m. Galilee is located on Pier Avenue. Please don't hesitate. It is a free event. You will hear some great music. It will be a lovely afternoon to share. It's not going to necessarily be long, but it's a great opportunity to, especially as we are approaching springtime, to just come out and hear some beautiful music. So please, you're welcome and you are invited.
We thank you so much for joining us here. Folks, please, let's get out. Let's support. We have a lot of great things going on in the city over the next, month or so. And so we think it would be good for you to come out. This is an opportunity for those who are into the performing arts, theater, jazz, those kind of things, to hear some good music. And so it's a free concert. But don't forget a love offering. We'd love to, no gift is too big. These are students. We're investing in our future. And so we thank you for bringing this production to Shreveport and sharing it at the Galilee, the historic Galilee Baptist Church. Well, folks, you've been listening to Issues That Matters. This is Stephen. That's Calvin. We appreciate you for listening in. We'll be back. Thank you for listening.
Thank you all for having me.
All right.
Issues That Matter with Calvin Lester and Stephen Jackson on WKSH 97.7 The Heat. We're the radio station everybody's talking about because we've got the heat. 97.7 WKSH The Heat.